Hello friends, welcome you all to another video. What's up? How are you? So today we are going to look at Jewish American literature or Jewish American fiction, and it is the fourth term of unit number 1 terms. So let's get started. So first I would like to tell you a brief history of Jewish people. Actually, you must have heard about the country or nation called Israel. So Israel is actually a small country in the western Asia. It is a very near to Africa, or you can say Egypt. Okay, and it is a very smallest country, and upper of it is the Syria, Iraq, Iran, okay, other Arabian countries, and below of it there is a Egypt. So Jew people, actually it was their homeland, and there is a very bigger history of Jew people. So actually Jew means Judaism, it is the name of the religion. And actually Abraham is one of the holy person or holy prophet, and he was sacred or holy by all the three religion, Judaism, Christianity and Islam. All the people believe him that he is a great Messiah or great prophet. So Abraham has established this religion, Judaism, but because of the Persian attack and then rise of Islam, rise of Christianity, all these things make them to fly from their native places to here and there, and in this way they came to America also. So okay, and you know that how Hitler has tortured them and how Hitler has killed them in Germany during the before and during the World War II. So let's get start with the Jewish American literature and fiction. So Jewish American literature holds an essential place in the literary history of United States of America. It encompasses tradition of writing in English primary as well as in other languages, the most important of which has been Yiddish. So Yiddish is a different language and English is different language. Okay, they came from Germany and other European countries, especially Poland, Austria and Germany, and they settled in United States of America before the that they coming from the 16th and 17th century, and their native language was different, and their native language and English it mingles and it became Yiddish. So Yiddish is a different language of Jew people. While critics and authors generally acknowledge the notion of a distinctive corpus and practice of writing about Jewishness in America, many writers resist being pigeonholed as Jewish voices. Also, many nominally Jewish writers cannot be considered representative of Jewish American literature. One example being Isaac Asimov, because he has not written about their problems, he has not written about the Jewishness in America. So therefore, there are so many writers, Jewish writers, they are not considered as a Jewish American writers. So beginning with the memoirs and petitions composed by the Sephardic immigrants who arrived in America during the mid 17th century. Okay, you got it that first migration of Jewish people came in 17th century in America, and they have started writing memoirs. And I have told you in African American literature that what is memoirs and petitions. So Jewish American writing grew over the subsequent centuries to flourish in other genres as well as including fiction, poetry and drama. So let's start with the main part of this is the novel, that is fiction. So the first notable voice in Jewish American literature was Emma Lazarus, whose poem The New Colossus on the Statue of Liberty became the great hymeneal of American immigration. And Gertrude Stein became one of the most influential prose stylists of the early 20th century. And Gertrude Stein is also belong to lost generation writers. The early 20th century saw the appearance of two pioneering American Jewish novels, Abraham Cannon's The Rise of David Levinsky and Henry Ross' Call It Sleep. It reached some of its most mature expression in the 20th century. Jewish American novels by Saul Bellow, J.D. Salinger, Norman Maliel, Bernard Malamud, Chaim Potok, and Philip Roth. These are the novelists, and they have written a lot of novels. Their work explored the conflicting pulls between secular society and Jewish tradition, which were actually felt by the immigrants who passed through Ellis Island and by the children and grandchildren. Okay, so America is a secular society. American people does not, that they don't consider religion as at most of important. Okay, they believe in religion. They goes to their holy places to pray. Okay, most of the Americans, they follow Christianity, but even though it is a secular society, but the Jewish people or Judaism, it is one of the orthodox religion, and they follow their older traditions, and therefore when they have arrived in such kind of a secular society, the conflict started between the grandchildren and their grandparents, and therefore because the older people, they follow the tradition and the younger people, they don't follow the tradition, and therefore this kind of a conflicts you can see in the novels by the Jewish American writers. So more recent authors like Nicole Cross, Paul Auster, Michael Chabon, Jonathan Safran Foer, and Art Spiegelman have continued to examine dilemmas of identity in the work, turning their attention especially to the Holocaust and the trends of both ongoing assimilation and cultural rediscovery exhibited by younger generation of American Jews. Arguably, the most influential of all American Jewish novels was Leon Harris' Exodus. Its story of the struggle to create the modern state of Israel, translated into Russian, became the inspiration for hundreds of thousands of Russian immigrants to Israel. Modern Jewish American novels often contain Jewish characters and address issues and themes of important to Jewish American society, such as assimilation, Zionism, that is Israel, and anti-Semitism. So what is anti-Semitism? Anti-Semitism, you can see that suppose there is a one bird, that is crow is there. The crow that is कावळा. So we hate crow. Nobody likes crow. आपल्याला कावळा हा पक्षी आवडतच नाही, कारण तो काळा असतो म्हणून, आणि त्याचा कर्कश आवाज असतो, तो काव काव करत असतो, क्रॉ क्रॉ, जस्ट बार क्रॉ 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 तो करत असतो. And that we hate them, and again other birds also hate them. Okay, and there are bigger birds, they wanted to kill them. आणि चिमणीसारखा पक्षी असेल तर त्या चिमणीसारख्या पक्षाला खाणारे इतर मोठे मोठे पक्षी आहेत, ज्यामध्ये ससाना आहे, गरुड आहे, घार आहे, भरपूर असे पक्षी आहेत, मोठाले घुबड आहे जे त्यांना खातं. तसंच प्रकारे जीव लोक जे आहेत ते असे आहेत, त्या छोट्याशा पक्षासारखे, त्या कावळ्यासारखे, की ज्याचा तिरस्कार सगळे धर्माचे लोक करतात आणि त्यांच्यावर अटॅक करून त्यांना नष्ट करण्याचं त्यांची मनीषा असते किंवा त्यांची इच्छा असते. त्यालाच म्हणतात अँटीसेमिटिझम. So along with the recent phenomenon known as a new antisemitism, नवीन अँटीसेमिनिझम आता आले की विज्ञान आणि या सगळ्या गोष्टीमध्ये जीव लोकांचा, कारण की जीव धर्म जो आहे तो आता एक्सटिंक्शनच्या याच्यात आलेला आहे, म्हणजे नष्ट होण्याच्या याच्यात तो आलेला आहे. तर 2 Jewish American writers have won the Nobel Prize, Isaac Bashevis, singer, and Saul Bellow. These 2 people have won the Nobel Prize for literature, and magazines such as The New Yorker have proved to be instrumental in exposing many Jewish American writers to wide reading public. So let's come to the conclusion of this video. So although Jewish stereotypes first appeared in works by non-Jewish writers after World War II, it was often Jewish American writers themselves who evoked such fixed images. The prevalence of anti-Semitic stereotypes in the works of such authors has sometimes been interpreted an expression of self-hatred. However, Jewish American authors have also used these negative stereotypes in order to refute them. However, American Jewish literature has also strongly celebrated American life. It has been primarily more an American than a Jewish literature, Perhaps the prominent examples of these is the great breakthrough novel of Saul Bellow, March. According to Sanford V. Stanlich, the first generation of Jewish American authors presented realistic portrayals, wars and all, of Jewish immigrants. In contrast, some second or third generation Jewish American authors deliberately reinforce negative stereotypes with satire and selective realism. So guys, I hope that you understood it. If you don't understand it, please make comments, and please don't forget to fill up the attendance come quiz form, because it is very important for me to keep your attendance. So thank you for watching, and meet you in another video in the next week.